Blockchain Mastery University. So in this video, I'm going to talk about moving the Blockchain Mastery University website to the main Ethereum network. So right now, you need a token to access the Blockchain Mastery University website. And at this point, I've issued pretty much everyone tokens. And in order to use it, you must hold the token on the Kovan test network, right? We wanted to test everything out before we went live, just to make sure that everything worked properly. And at this point, I think it all works. And last week, I actually issued the tokens on the mainnet. So this week, what I want to do is move the website to mainnet. So right now, when you visit the website, it asks you to visit the Kovan test network. So you have to go in here inside MetaMask and select the Kovan test network, right? And you must be a token holder. So let's see here. I'm going to change that. I'll just do this. Change accounts here off screen. Go to this accounts. All right. And there we go. So what we're doing now is make a website where welcome to it actually runs on the main Ethereum network. So I want to be able to select mainnet inside MetaMask, all right, and access the page. Okay. So in last week's video, I believe it was last week's video, I went over how I implemented the blockchain authentication inside the project. So I guess that was actually 2 weeks ago. But what we're going to do now is update all that to show you how I'm going to check for the mainnet and kind of talk you through my thought process about what needs to happen and actually just do it live. Like I want to coach you through how I do this when I build my own projects. So go check out that previous video in the video vault on how I implemented the blockchain authentication, and that'll help you kind of understand what I'm kind of doing here. All right. So quick recap. I know I covered a lot in that video, so I want to go over it. So essentially what I do is I check on the blockchain to see if you hold the token. And if you do hold the token, you can see the video vault, right? You have to be connected to the Kovan test network. You must hold the token. And if you click it, then you can see the video vault here, right? And you see the homepage and the settings and all that kind of stuff, okay? So how did I implement that? Well, first and foremost, I connected to the blockchain with Web3, and then I fetched the account from MetaMask, right, out of here. And then I also talked to this token smart contract on the blockchain and check to see if that account has a balance of these tokens, all right? So if you've been inside the bootcamp, this should look really familiar. If you're not inside the bootcamp, I show you to build stuff a lot like this, step by step. But essentially, just the high-level steps are, we make sure they have MetaMask installed, and if they don't, we show an alert, all right, and tell them they must access the website with an Ethereum browser. All right, and the next thing is we check for Web3, all right? So essentially, we want to make sure that Web3 is there. We already did this in the MetaMask step, but we pull it here, all right? And then we check the network ID. So this is where we make sure they're connected to the Kovan test network. You can see it says enforce Kovan here. Well, that's what we want to change, all right? So we want to change this, make sure that they're on the Kovan test network. And then finally, when we load the token, we want to make sure that we're loading the correct token, okay, on the correct network. So there's a few things that need to change. The first is making sure the Kovan test network is updated, okay? So I'll show you how to do that. So if you look here, I'm going to do this off screen. See here, Ethereum network IDs. The different networks on Ethereum have different IDs, okay? So if you go to this right here, choosing a chain ID, they'll tell you, let's see, there's actually a good Stack Overflow post that shows you here. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, perfect. So if you look here, 42 is the Kovan test network, all right? And then number 1 is Frontier, Homestead, Metropolis, the Ethereum proof of work mainnet. So that's what we're going to use, okay? So like if you look inside here, we use 42, that's Kovan network. But essentially what we're going to do is choose number 1, all right? So I'm going to change that, click 1. So enforce main network, all right? And then also, we do the same kind of thing in the selector. So essentially there's 2 places to do this. The first place is when we're loading up all the data from the blockchain. And essentially if they're not on the Kovan test network, we want to stop execution here, okay? We don't even want to look for the account. We don't want to try to load the token. So we stop all that. But what we also have to do is surface an error to the user if they are not connected to the correct network. So we do that like this. If you look at this is authenticated selector, there's a file called app selectors, okay, selectors index. And you see this is authenticated selector. Well, so you basically just check for the presence of is MetaMask installed, is the network valid, essentially is it the right network, and then is the person a token holder. And that's how we determine these errors. So if I change to this, all right, it should show me an error. Oh, this is why people are seeing a blank screen probably. So you go to localize. Let's go to Rinkeby. All right, so this is where it says please select the Kovan test network. These are the errors that we check for. So if you look here, it says please select Kovan test network. Essentially what we're going to do is change that to main network. All right, please connect to main, the Ethereum main net in MetaMask. All right. Oh, sorry, this is the, my fault, everybody. This is the actual website. So let's start the development server. It's good that you have these kind of errors on screen because you see what I actually run into when I'm building my own apps. So I'm going to say npm run start port. I think you should probably open it for me on the correct port. So a little tip, you can specify the port whenever you start your npm server. So you can do let's see this, port equals 5000 npm run start. That basically is just an environment variable right here that you're passing into the command. All right, so here's the local copy. So here you go. Please connect to Ethereum mainnet in MetaMask. So now what I also want to do is change this right here. So network is valid selector. All right, so this is where we check is it loading, all that kind of stuff. Network is valid, so network 1. All right, let's see if that works. So now they should be on the Ethereum mainnet. So if they're not, all right, so let's actually go to Ethereum mainnet. And there we go. All right, so it's a white screen. There's another thing we have to change, but that kind of gets it started, all right? So let's see here. The next thing we want to do is change the token contract. Okay, so I'm going to go to my truffle project and see, well, actually, before I do that, I'll show you what we need to change. Let's see here. Is authenticated selector, is loading selector. We actually import the token somewhere. So I think it's in the interactions file. Yeah, so token API, token address, so config. Okay, so here it is. We have a load token function, all right, that basically creates a Web3 version of the token. So this is the JavaScript version of the smart contract that we can use to call the functions. So if you look inside of app.js, I believe we do load token here. All right, so load account, load token. Right, this is the main function that gets run whenever the app gets set up. All right. So when we load this token, we're pulling it from the blockchain. In order to create a JavaScript version of the smart contract, we need 2 pieces of information. We need the API. This is basically the JSON description of what the token looks like, and then also the address. So that's the address where it's located on the blockchain, and that's what we actually need to change. So the cool thing is whenever we deploy the smart contract to different environments, whether it's Ganache, the development blockchain, or the test network or the main network, the ABI doesn't change as long as the code doesn't change, right? So we can keep that. And then the token address will change depending on how you deploy it. So in my case, I'm deploying the older version of Truffle. I think the newer versions of Truffle try to preserve the smart contract address across networks if possible. But this particular version I don't think does. So let's see, let's look at this is the actual token repository. So let's say Truffle networks. All right, this shows where the tokens are located. So like on development network, here's the address. On the Code test network, here's the address. All right, on the mainnet, here's the address. So I'm gonna copy this. All right, and then copy it. Go to my file, set token address. Let's go config and paste this in, save. And then let's look at the website again. All right, there we go, boom. So let's go to Code test network. All right, so whoops, there's a problem. Please connect to Ethereum mainnet and MetaMask. All right, so let's try it. Go to mainnet, and boom, there we go.
So welcome to Blockchain Mastery University. I'm so excited
that I'll do that here. I'll go off screen. I'm gonna let's see, change the account. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to an account that I know doesn't have a token. All right, there you go. You must be a token holder to access this website. So that's it. That's all we need to do in order to make this change. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So normally what I do in this situation is I typically just check everything locally in development, and now we want to check everything in production. So I'll say get status. All right. So oops, wrong repository. I've got so many projects up in here. So this is my actual development workflow. Like these are other projects that I'm working on. And this is like the bootcamp, and then here's the Blockchain Mastery University website. So I'm gonna save this. Say get status. So I'll look at what I changed. So this is Git. If y'all are familiar with Git, it's a version control, so it lets you see what your changes were. So we changed the network here. Right, that's good. Change the token address. I'm making sure that there's nothing else that changed. And also, if you're scrolling down here, you can click like 99. That's like we'll skip 99 lines. Okay, so these are old files that are deleted. All right, good. So one thing that y'all might not be familiar with is source tree or like the Git GUI. So I can do stree and open this in source tree's Atlassian product. Sorry, that's asking for my Git credentials. Just deny for now. I like source tree a lot because I can see like changes. So if you're using Git, I use the command line all the time for Git. But this is also a good way to just like look at changes quickly. So here you go. This is what changed. This is what changed. All right, and then these are some old like Git junk. So I had a merge conflict. If you're not familiar with merges in Git, essentially it's like when you make two branches go together. There's different strategies for doing this, but mine caused like some junky files to stay in the project, so I deleted them. So I'm going to keep that in the commit as well. So I'll just commit from the command line, git add dot git commit moves website to mainnet. Oops, get status. There's nothing left over. All right. So now I have this website hosted on Heroku, so I'll show you behind the scenes of that project right now. See here, Heroku. I pulled it up off screen. I'll show you right now. I like Heroku. I show you how to use Heroku in the blockchain bootcamp. So let's see here. If you want to learn how to deploy your applications to a good production environment, I show you that step by step. So I use Heroku for my personal projects, and really I do show you technologies that I use all the time in the professional world. I'm a long-time Heroku user. It's really quick to use, simple. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to deploy the website with Git here in a second. But like here it is. It's also pretty cost-effective. So like here's the Blockchain Mastery University website. It only runs like $7 a month. It's pretty cheap. That's just one process. You just do it this way. And you can see like all the history of what I've deployed the website to. So it's really easy to set up a Heroku app with React. Like I said, I showed you how to do that in the bootcamp if you haven't joined that already. So you can deploy from the graphical user interface here. But here's how you do it with Git. So I have the Git remote already configured, and I do it like this. I just say git push Heroku master. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. And then this will compile the project, it'll create a production build of React, and it'll push that to the server. And then this will take a second, and it'll restart, and we'll check the project in production before everyone uses it. So I'll wait for that to finish. And while I do that, I'll take a little more look at the code and kind of talk about some of the things that are inside of here. Okay, so I want to talk more about these, more about Redux and selectors. So if you have done any of tutorials that I've done on my YouTube channel, some of these patterns look familiar, but like I'll look at DAP University. Sorry, I pulled my GitHub. So like you look at the social network tutorial. That's one that I released in the last year. So you look at source. I want to talk about how you store data on the blockchain. So source components, and look at this app.js file. So the React state object is how we store a lot of our blockchain data. So like for example, when we load the smart contracts, and we say this set state, save the smart contract here, right? This is the component state inside of React. What I'm doing inside of this is with Redux. So Redux is basically like having one big state object for the entire application, and you can read and write from that. So like when I load the smart contract inside of here, when you go through these actions right here that say like, load Web3, load network, load account, load token, we basically store all the information inside of Redux store, which is sort of like our app-wide database on the client side. So that replaces this, if you've seen this in my other tutorials, okay? So I show you all about how to do that inside of bootcamp. I use Redux in my professional projects a lot. I like it quite a bit. It saves you from having to use component state on everything React. There's other solutions out there, but Redux is widely used. I like it a lot. So reading things out of Redux, there's lots of strategies. I use select or reselect, and you can see basically create these selectors. You can see those here. Basically, you just pull them out like this, and there's lots of different selectors here. You can create really advanced things. So like you can see, is MetaMask installed? Is the network ID ready? Is the network valid? Is there a token? Is there a token balance? And you can check all these things by running these advanced functions that say yes or no. And if they are yes or no based on conditions, you can do certain things. Like you can determine, is the app loading? So for example, like in this project, we just say, is it loading by this sort of true or false flag inside a state object? Well, you can check for much more complex things like this right here. So that's an example of how you can create advanced selectors. I'll show you how to do all this stuff in the bootcamp step by step. Okay. All right, so let's look at our apps deployed here. Here's the finished result. So this was, here's our command we ran, and here's all the stack trace. All right, so deployed successfully. So let's go to the main website and just check it. See here. Here we go. Blockchain Mastery University. All right. So it's still spinning. Let's wait for it to hard refresh. So I'm going to change accounts here off screen. Let's go back to first account list. So this is probably restarting with Heroku. And the cool thing about Heroku is I can check the logs here. I can say Heroku logs. Tail. So tail basically keeps the logs running when more requests come in. And I can see the activity on my server like this. All right, this is actually going on Heroku. Okay. So I restarted. All right. So the release happened. So it's still starting the development server, looks like. So this is probably, it's taking a second, but it looks like it's working now. All right. So it's okay. Let's just refresh the page. This will probably take a second. All right, looks like it worked. Awesome, there you go. So let's go to the Kovan test network. Let's see here. Kovan. All right, so yeah, there you go. Let's connect to the main Ethereum network and MetaMask. Let's go back to correct network. Ethereum mainnet. All right, boom, there we go. Let's try a different account that's not connected, doesn't hold the token. All right. Let's try that. Boom, there we go. Awesome. So that is how I have moved the Blockchain Mastery University website to mainnet. You've watched me do it right here live on screen. So now you have an idea of how to change this for yourself. So I posted the code last week for the Kovan version of the website. So if you've forked that and used it in your own project, this is how you update it to use your own token. So maybe you have a different address and maybe you move your token to mainnet or something like that. That's how you do it. All right, so if you like this video, until next time, thanks for watching Blockchain Mastery University.